Hi, Nana. So we were learning about the factors which influence the enol content. So today we learn about the effect of solvent. What is solvent? Solvent is the substance which can dissolve something into in it and which is present in excess amount. The substance which is present in excess amount is said to be solvent, and it can dissolve some other substance into it. Okay. See, if you we can classify the solvents into several types. So here solvent can be classified mainly into two types: polar solvents and non-polar solvents. Polar solvent, they have polarity. That means uh, they can form positive and negative charges. For example, water. If you take water, so water is a polar solvent because so here there is a polar covalent bond in this molecule. So this oxygen will get partial negative charge and hydrogen will get partial positive charge. So here also like this. So what happens? So if you see this molecule, so towards the one end it is positive charge and towards the other end it is negative charge. So that means two opposite charged poles are present in this molecule. Such molecules are said to be polar molecule, and if it is used as solvent, then such solvent is said to be polar solvent. Okay. So non-polar solvents means like carbon tetrachloride, acetone, sorry, not acetone, ethers, etc. So those compounds are said to be non-polar solvents. Even kerosene, petrol, those are all non-polar solvents, benzene, etc. Okay, because there is no polar covalent bond in such compounds. Hence, those compounds are treated as non-polar solvents. See, polar solvents again they are further divided into two types. So, polar protic solvents and polar aprotic solvents. What is the meaning of protic? Protic means hydrogen. If the solvent contains hydrogen, then such a solvent said if a polar solvent contains hydrogen, then such solvents are said to be polar protic solvents. Here the hydrogen actually they contain hydrogen atoms that can involve in hydrogen bonding. So that is important. So in the polar protic solvents, the hydrogen which is present, they involve in hydrogen bonding. Okay. See, these polar protic solvent they form hydrogen bonding with oxygen of the carbonyl group. As they form hydrogen bonding with oxygen of the carbonyl group, what happens? The keto form will become more stable form, and it does not convert into enol form. That means polar protic solvents will increase the keto form. It will favor the keto content. Okay. If you see polar aprotic, so polar aprotic means here the hydrogen, though hydrogen are present, but those hydrogens they cannot involve in hydrogen bonding. For example, methyl cyanide, tetrahydrofuran, acetone, etc. They are said to be they are also polar but aprotic. That means here the hydrogen which is present in them, they do not those hydrogen atoms do not involve in hydrogen bonding. So here these compounds, this solvent will improve the keto form. Okay, that means when a substance is kept, when a tautomeric substance is kept in polar protic solvent, then no doubt undoubtedly the substance will present in keto form in the much percentages. Okay, in majority percentage of that compound will be in keto form. Okay, so non-polar means here that keto form does not be affected by non-polar, because non-polar does not favor the keto form. Okay, so like this the effect of mainly polar protic solvents will increase the keto content or also percentage of the ketone of the ketone percentage of the compound. Right. Now here let us see one example. Suppose this is acetone. Sorry, not acetone. This is the this is acetoacetic ester. Already we have seen yesterday, I think. What is this one? So this is diketone. This is diketone. Acetyl acetate. This is called as acetyl acetate. Okay. Now if you see the acetyl acetate, here it will tautomerize. It will tautomerize into. It will tautomerize into. I mean, it will convert into enol form. See, whenever here active methylene, this is called as active methylene. So here these are methyl groups. Okay, so such compound, if it is converted into enol form, what happens? So here, suppose this hydrogen, it is having 2 alpha hydrogens. So this hydrogen will come here, so that it forms ol, and here this double bond will shift here, right? So here lone pairs are present on the oxygen. Hydrogen is there. Now here this bond. Now this is having oxygen and this one. See, if this is converted into this form, what happens here? Hydrogen bond will form. Chelation takes place and a closed ring is formed. Okay, so that is why. So this compound, as it is as hydrogen bond is formed, what happens? This compound will be in major extent when compared to this one. Suppose if these two are present in equilibrium, in the generally we will take in liquid state, but if it is taken in gaseous phase, if you convert this one into gaseous phase, what happens? See, 92% of the substance will be in this form only, because it is having intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So it always intramolecular hydrogen bonding. It will try to separate. It will try to get separated from the solvent. Okay, so that means this molecule, they will try to be more stable in isolated form when compared to in the dissolved form. Okay, see, in gaseous phase, so it will be in 92%, this will be only in 8%. 8% the compound will be in this form, and 92% of the compound will be in this form. Suppose if you take if this mixture is kept in solvent, N-hexane solvent, it is a non-polar, solvent. So in non-polar solvent, so it favors enol form. Non-polar solvents favors enol form. So that means here also, here 92%. So when this mixture, when it is present, that means when this acetyl acetone, it is kept when this acetyl acetone compound is kept in N-hexane. So what is the solvent we used here? N-hexane. What happens? So this will convert into this one. Only 8% of the compound will be in this form, and 92% of that compound will convert into this form. Under which condition? When we use non-polar solvent like N-hexane. Okay, so non-polar solvents will favor or else will increase the enol content, whereas polar solvents will increase the keto content. Particularly polar protic solvents will increase the keto content. Suppose if it is in liquid state, so if it is in gaseous state, so predominantly this will be in large amounts when compared to this form. Suppose if it is in liquid state, what happens? Even in liquid state also, even in liquid state also, or else even in liquid phase also, what happens? So due to hydrogen bonding, due to the presence of hydrogen bonding, so even in liquid phase also, this compound will be in large amount, but not this much amount. It will be around 76%. Suppose if you take aprotic, a polar aprotic solvent like methyl cyanide, this is a polar aprotic solvent. If you keep these two in polar aprotic solvent, already we have seen a polar aprotic solvent means here this one, the percentage of enol will be less. Enol will be less means, so not this much. So it will be, still it is 58% only. So this is favored. This is favored mainly in polar protic solvent. See, this is polar aprotic solvent. Hence, this is not, this solvent does not favor to this keto form in large extent. So it will try to favor even I mean the enol form only. Okay. Suppose if you use polar protic solvent, if you use polar protic solvent, what happens? So this enol form will be only 15%. Enol form will be only in 15%, because this is, as it is a polar protic solvent. Polar protic solvents always they favor the keto form of the compound. Hence, so this compound will exist in 85%, and this compound will exist only in 15% when this mixture is present in water, aqueous solution of this one and this one. Okay, so if you take the aqueous solution of this one, what happens? So you will find 85% of the compound will be in this state only. Suppose if you change the solvent from water to N-hexane solvent, what happens? So now the percentage of this one will be 92%, and the percentage of this one will be only 8%. So like this, the effect of solvent will change the enol content. Particularly polar protic solvents will increase the keto form, okay, whereas the other type of solvents will not favor the keto form to that extent. They will try to favor the enol form. Okay, right. So like this, the effect of solvent can be discussed. Next, the next influencing factor is temperature. Next influencing factor is temperature. About hydrogen bonding we have discussed. See, whenever hydrogen bonding is involved, okay, so it suppose if the solvent forms hydrogen bonding with the compound, then in that state the keto form is favorable. If the solvent does not form hydrogen bonding with the compound, then enol form will be favored. And if the compound contains intramolecular hydrogen bonding in it, then that compound will be present in enol form only to the large extent. Okay, right. Now effect of temperature. Effect of temperature on the keto-enol tautomerism. See, higher temperatures, shift the equilibrium. They shift the equilibrium towards higher temperature, shift the equilibrium, okay, towards keto form. Towards keto form. Why? Because in keto form, there is a bond between carbon and oxygen, whereas in enol form, the double bond between carbon and carbon, whereas in keto form, the double bond is between carbon and oxygen. So this is a stronger bond. This is somewhat less stronger when compared to this one. So this is stronger and this is somewhat less. So if temperature is increased, if you heat this, what happens? So this bond can be broken easily. Okay, hence the enol, the stability hence the enol, the stability will be lost. Okay, but here higher temperature, even at higher temperature also, the keto form, as it is a stronger bond, the keto form will try to be stable. So that means when temperature is increased, what happens? So here what happens? The equilibrium will shift towards the keto form, and enol form will be very less percentage, because here double bond in enol form, double bond will be between carbon and carbon. So the C double bond C bond is somewhat less stronger when compared to C double bond O. Okay, if you heat such system, what happens? So the most of the enol will convert into keto form. That means keto form is thermodynamically more stable when compared to enol form. So CC double bond breaks down easily due to less bond energy. So like this, we can discuss about this one. Okay, right. So effect of temperature will be right. Next, mechanism of enolization. So these are all the factors which can affect the enol content. Now we will learn the mechanism of enolization. What is enolization? Enolization means the conversion of keto form into enol form is said to be enolization. Okay, so here actually the reaction of conversion of keto form, the reaction of conversion of keto form into enol form is said to be enolization. Okay, so the mechanism of enolization, so it can be two types. What are they? Acid catalyzed enolization, acid catalyzed enolization, and another one is base catalyzed enolization. Base catalyzed enolization. Acid catalyzed enolization and base catalyzed enolization. So here acid is used as a catalyst and here base is used as the catalyst. So first we will learn acid catalyzed enolization mechanism. So we will learn acid catalyzed enolized mechanism. So in this mechanism, what happens? Suppose if this is a ketone, let us assume if this is a ketone, so initially what happens? So this ketone will enolization means ketone, conversion of ketone into enol. So during this process, what happens? Acid. So acid in aqueous solution, acid will try to exist in H3O plus form. H3O plus form. That means oxygen, it is attached to three hydrogens, and it is having positive charge on it. It is having positive charge on it because it forms a coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so it's a lone pair. It is having one lone pair. And it is having one positive charge on it. So what happens? So this oxygen will donate this hydrogen onto this, because here this bond is polar bond, as it is having partial negative and this is having partial positive charge. What happens? So this lone pair of electrons are I mean they are, it is supplied to this hydrogen so that this bond is broken. Okay, so this bond is broken, and water is released, and this hydrogen will attach to this hydrogen will attach to this oxygen. Okay, this hydrogen will attach to this oxygen. Okay, so actually before converting into this one, see, look here. So that means here what happens is hydrogen. So here the lone pairs will shift to this hydrogen, and it forms a coordinate. It forms a bond. Now this bond will convert into a lone pair of electrons. Okay, right? Now what happens? So it forms what? It forms so this hydrogen will come to here. It forms OH. Okay, now this oxygen will have partial positive charge on it. Okay, so what happens here? Actually, this is a double bond between carbon and oxygen. So this bond will move here. This bond will move. That means this bond means a pair of electrons. So this pair of electron will move here, because this oxygen is having it is having positive charge on it. So in order to recover from the positive charge, this oxygen will take electrons from this bond. This pi bond will move here, so that finally the positive charge will be reduced. Okay, now this is one carbon, and this is another carbon, and it is having hydrogens. Okay, it is having hydrogens. Now at this state what happens? So water molecule will attack. So water molecule, so it will attack this alpha hydrogen, because alpha hydrogen because all this positive charge is shifted here. It is shifted here. Now this carbon will try to get electrons. Okay, so these electrons, where from this this carbon is getting electrons from where? So here the bond between alpha carbon and alpha hydrogen, it is readily it is ready for the breakage, because this is alpha hydrogen. As alpha hydrogen, it is ready to form into H plus ion. What happens? So this carbon will show its influence on these electrons, so that this bond will shift here. This bond will shift here, so that what happens now? This hydrogen will become a free H plus ion. Now that means, when does this occur? When water molecules approach this portion. So in that case, what happens? So this bond will shift here. Now the hydrogen will become H plus. Now it forms a coordinate covalent bond with this one, and finally what happens? So this initially H3O plus was there, and this H3O plus, it has lost its oxygen. It has lost its oxygen to this one, and finally it is converted to this one. So now now this is the structure. Okay, so now it has the structure is converted like this. This water initially H3O plus was there, so it has lost its hydrogen to this molecule. Okay, finally it is converted into this one. Now at the end, again water molecule will take a hydrogen from this molecule, but from alpha carbon it will take a hydrogen, and finally it will come out in the form of H3O plus. That means initially H3O plus is reacted with this molecule, and it is converted into water, and finally the water will take H plus from this molecule, and finally convert into H3O plus. So that means H3O plus, it has entered, and finally H3O plus has left the system during this process. So that means H3O plus means acid, because it is having H2O plus H plus. H plus means acid. So that such type of enolization is said to be acid catalyzed enolization. Okay, during acid catalyzed enolization, what happens? So hydrogen H plus ion attacks on oxygen first, oxygen of the carbonyl group, and the hydrogen of the alpha carbonate is taken by water molecules, and finally that hydrogen will leave in the form of H3O plus ion. So this mechanism takes place. This mechanism takes place in acid catalyzed enolization. Then what mechanism takes place in base catalyzed enolization? Suppose if it is base catalyzed enolization, in base catalyzed enolization, suppose this is keto form, and this is carbon, this is also carbon, 3 hydrogens are present here, alpha hydrogens are present, so base means OH minus groups are present. So in this process what happens? The OH minus group will attack this H plus alpha hydrogen, because alpha hydrogens are more they are said to be acidic hydrogens. So as it is acidic hydrogen, so it is attacked by the OH minus. Okay, so that this bond will shift here. Okay, the bond between carbon and hydrogen, it is shifted between carbon and carbon. Okay, so that this bond will form, a double bond will form here. So now this hydrogen, it has lost, this bond is moved here. Okay, this bond is moved here like this, and so this hydrogen is detached from this carbon, alpha carbon, and it will move in the form of H2O. Okay, now what happens? So here double bond is present on the oxygen, so here CH3, so let it be like that only. Okay, now what happens? Slowly, so now here what happened? This is called as here negative charge is left over. This is called as enolate ion. If it loses its hydrogen to this OH group, so this is converted into water. Now negative charge is left over because H plus ion is lost. So these 2 electrons, initially those 2 electrons are initially taken by this carbon, and afterwards these 2 electrons are shifted between these 2 carbons and to form double bond here. Whenever this negative charge is shifted here to form a double bond, what happened? This double bond between carbon and oxygen will shift onto this oxygen to form O minus. Now it is called as enolate ion. Okay, now what happens? So this water is there. So from this water molecule, so this is O minus. O minus means lone pair of electrons. Due to the presence of lone pair of electrons on it, 3 lone pairs are there, so it gets a negative charge. So what happens? This lone pair is donated to this one oxygen. This lone pair will be donated to hydrogen, so that this hydrogen will come out H plus as OH plus, and OH minus ion is left over. Finally, so initially OH minus is attacking, and finally OH minus is released. That means here OH minus is acting as a catalyst. OH minus means base. Hence this mechanism is said to be base catalyzed mechanism. And finally what happens? So this electron pair is donated to this one, and finally it forms OH group. So now it is en and ol, enol. So keto form is converted into enol form due to attacking of OH minus ions, okay, and water molecules on this molecule. So this is the mechanism of enolization. Okay, suppose if it is given like this, acetone D3O plus or D3O plus means it is acid. Instead of H3O plus, we may use D3O plus. D3O plus means deuterium. Even deuterium is also one type of hydrogen, isotope of hydrogen, another isotope of hydrogen. So even this is also acid, or OD minus, or else OH minus. Instead of OH minus, we may take OD minus also. So in experiments, generally we use scientists we use D3O plus or OD minus, etc. Such isotopes are the compounds related to isotopes are also used in order to perform experiments. So these experiments will prove that. So finally what happens, so this will when this acid is used, or else this base is used, aqueous base, finally what happens, so the compound this keto form will convert into this compound CD3. After certain time, after some time, so the ketone will be this ketone instead of this ketone. So this ketone is converted into this ketone. How it is happening? So during this process, what happens? First, for example, take D3O. We will discuss about this one later. So D3O will attack this one. D3O will attack this one, and it forms OD. It forms OD, and now water molecule will attack this one. So here actually CH3 are present. CH3, water molecule will attack this one. It will take H2. It will take H, and it forms a H3O plus. Okay, it forms H3O plus. So like this, this is as it is I am writing. So here one hydrogen is lost. So one hydrogen is lost because this water molecule will take one hydrogen and forms H3O plus. So now H2 is formed, minus is there. Okay, so this will form a double bond. Now it forms a in all, OD is present. Now what happens? Slowly in this molecule is again attacked by this molecule is again attacked by what? OH minus. So this OH minus, what does it do? Simply it will always attack this one alpha hydrogen. So that what happens? This is keto form, and during this process what happens? All the hydrogens are replaced by OD. So here it is OD minus. Okay, all the hydrogens are replaced. See OD minus, sorry, H2O. These hydrogens so okay, let it be. So I'm not explaining this this entire thing here. So finally what happens? It will convert into CD3 here also, CD3. Okay, and double bond is left over. So in this this is the process of conversion of this I mean in the presence of deuterium oxides, or else this is what is this one? Hydronium, deuteronium. This is called as deuteronium. In the presence of deuteronium, so this compound will convert into D3 instead of hydrogens. So you'll find a deuterium atoms. Okay, right. So this is the mechanism of enolization. So acid catalyzed mechanism and even base catalyzed mechanism also we learned. And one more thing, see, preparation of enolate. How enolate is prepared? Important. Preparation of enolate. That means the keto form, from the ketone or else keto form. So enolate is prepared. What is enolate? Enolate is like this. So this carbon having negative charge and this carbon is having two hydrogens. Actually this carbon is having 3 hydrogens. Even this is also having 3 hydrogens. Okay, like this. And this carbon is having double bond with oxygen. So if it loses this hydrogen, it forms a carbon anion. Okay, slowly this anion will come here and this bond will shift here. It will convert into O minus. Okay, single bond is left over, carbon. Okay, so here CH3 and here double bond is formed between this one and this one, double bond is formed and CH3 is formed. So now these two are said to be enolate ion. This is one enolate ion and this is another enolate ion. Okay, so that means ketone form is converted into enolate ion. So here for the conversion of ketone into enolate ion, so a substance known as LDA. LDA. What is LDA stands for? Lithium diisopropyl amide. So the structure of this one will be Li plus N minus. This is isopropyl. This is another isopropyl. Two isopropyl groups are present on the nitrogen. Lithium diisopropyl amine, not amide, amine. It is amine. Okay, so this compound, this ketone will convert into enolate ion. These two are enolate ions. Okay, so this enolate ion will convert into this form and this will convert into this form. So these two are resonating structures, not tautomers. So this substance will convert this one into this enolate. So in the competitive exams, it may be asked. So which substance is used to convert the ketone into enolate ion? So LDA, lithium diisopropyl amide. LDA reacts with aldehydes or ketones. So here this is LDA. It will react with ketone or else even it reacts with aldehydes also. Okay, to form what? Enolates. So this process is known as enolization. So preparation of enolate can be done with the help of LDA. Okay, right. Next, tests for enol. We will learn the next concept. What is that? Test for enol. How do you test? How do you find the presence of enol? Whether enol is present or not? There are special tests known as tests of enol. Okay, we'll learn those tests now. Tests for enol. First test is sodium test. See, when enol is present, okay, this sodium, when it is made to react with sodium. Sodium metal. So what happens? The hydrogen is replaced by sodium. So now what happens? It forms this structure. Okay. So during this process, what happens? So hydrogen is liberated. Every two molecules of enol will react with two sodium atoms, so that it forms this is called as sodium enolate. Okay, sodium enolate. So two molecules of sodium enolate and hydrogen gas is formed. Hydrogen is liberated in the form of gas. So enol gives, enol will enol, this is enol will give effervescence of hydrogen. Effervescence of hydrogen with sodium metal. Effervescence means bubbles of hydrogen with sodium metal. So when when sodium is added, so here to enol, so hydrogen gas is liberated. So from this it is understood that the given substance is enol. If it is enol, if you add sodium, what happens? Hydrogen gas is liberated. Okay, if sodium is added to enol, if sodium is added to this substance, if hydrogen is not liberated, then this substance is not enol. Right. Another test is also there for enol. FeCl3 test, ferric chloride test, FeCl3 test. Neutral FeCl3 is used. So enols, what does they do? When enol into enol, if FeCl3 is added, to enols, what happens? The enol will convert into violet color. Violet coloration takes place. The enol will develop or else will turn into violet color. The enol will convert into violet color. So from this it is understood that if FeCl3 can convert the given substance into violet color, so it indicates that the given substance is nothing but enol. And one more test, bromine test, bromine water test, bromine water. Okay, so what happens? So bromine water, actually it is brown in color, reddish brown, almost reddish brown color, reddish brown in color. So when bromine water, okay, it is mixed with enol, what happens? The color of the bromine water is lost. The bromine water will become colorless. It become colorless. Reddish brown color of the bromine water, it is lost when enol is added to it. So that means it indicates that here, because in enol the double bond is present, so here double bond makes the this bromine will attack the double bond. Okay, so that the bromine water is the bromine in the water is lost. It is used up. The bromine is used up in the reaction with the double bond from the enol, so that when the content of bromine is lost, what happens? The solution becomes colorless. So like this, the bromine water test is also done in order to test for enol. So like this. So this is these are all the things related to tautomerism. Okay, we will learn about the other type of isomerism in the next video.